Bloomington is one of the great small town restaurant places in the United States. Other things were more available. Instead of buying the frozen stuff all the time from Farm Boy, we can get all kinds of stuff from other people. Then local farmers would come by and sell you stuff. And Dave Fish comes by and sells you stuff. So it kind of morphed into what we have now, where seriously you can get almost anything you want.
Welcome to Season 9 of the No Dishes Podcast, presented by our friends at Game Day Men's Health. They have a wide variety of services. You can find out more at GameDayMen'sHealth.com. I've been seeing them for 5 months, have lost over 50 pounds, but they do so much more than just weight loss. We're so appreciative to them of showing their support for the local restaurant community and highlighting the people that make it go. DJ, spin that track.
Hey, say, honey, let's go out to eat. Relieve our culinary duties. With all these restaurants to sweep us off our feet, they're bound to turn us into foodies. No dishes, no dishes, no dishes. We'll have a bottle of wine, relax and have a good time. No dishes, no dishes.
We're here with the man, the myth, the legend, two-time guest. First time was audio only, first time on video. What up, Rags?
Hey, what's going on, Gregg? You all right?
I'm doing great, man.
Yeah, me too.
Can you tell I'm excited to have you here?
I know. It's like the holiday season, everything. We're just here going to warm up everybody's holidays. So good. Yeah.
It's going to be great. Well, you got to see the new studio, see the video cameras.
I know. You're way uptown now, man. It's like we're in Cali or something. It's like we're in Venice Beach. You know, just go.
First time anyone's ever confused this or correlated the two.
Well, it's all in your imagination. So, yeah. We're good.
I didn't even say it off the top here, but I think everyone knows. Rags is behind Nick's and Osteria Rago. So
Yep.
Yeah, it's like you already know. People know.
I am. Yeah, I've been at Nick's for a long time, and then started Osteria Rago in 2017. So
has it been 8 years?
Yeah, it seems kind of longer than that. We planned it for a long time. You know, traveling to Italy and eating Italian food, and we always want to make pasta. That's nobody else does that type of thing.
Yeah, so. You're the only ones making it in house.
Yeah, and our people are excellent.
Very.
And my partner Ian, my business partner Ian Fletcher, he's done a great job at Osteria, and he's my business partner now at Nick's also. So it's going along really well. Bloomington and the surrounding area has been very supportive of the Osteria, and always Nick's too. But Osteria is kind of, one of those it's not really a secret anymore, but it's one of those very quaint, out of the way places that isn't a chain or anything. So some people really aren't acquainted with it. But yeah, once they get turned on to fresh pasta and where it is and on Kirkwood and downtown Bloomington, it's sweet. It's nice and casual and very, very kind of tucked away in the alley. So
yeah, it is like a little hidden gem that you feel like you got to know about it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you go to Italy or other European cities or even United States, especially in older cities, some of the best places are in back alleys. A lot of places in New York City, they're in basements, things like Chicago. It could be. I mean, I've been to places in Chicago that are just look like they're in a townhouse somewhere. Just, you walk in like.
Not some tourist trap with the biggest sign.
Yeah, have you ever been up? Was that the Velvet Hour up in Chicago?
No.
It looks like total ghetto. It's and it looks like seriously a boarded up house. And the first time I went there was years ago. It really incognito. You wouldn't know, but you walk in. It's one of the finest cocktail bars in the United States.
Yeah, no, I've heard of it. I've just never been. That's incredible. Need to go there.
Yeah, but that's kind of the idea that we had when we started.
Yeah, the whole vibe.
Because it was originally Blooming Foods.
The old. I don't know if some of our viewers might not know that.
They don't.
Yeah, that was a downtown Blooming Foods. We delivered ice cream there.
Yeah. As time flies, people forget those kind of things. So I think it's up to people like me and you can remember those things to be the historians here in Bloomington.
We try.
Yeah, and so, hey, man, they go Blooming Foods. Oh, I mean that hippie store out there on West 3rd Street and there's one on the west side. Yeah, I said, but the original one was downtown.
Yeah.
And it was really rudimentary back then. It was all, it was a bunch of bulk grains,
Yeah, it felt like a co-op. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they expanded over the years. But anyway, that was there. That started in 76 in the location where the Osteria is, in the alley behind, between Kirkwood and 6th Street. And when they shut that down, it was dormant for a while, and we needed some extra space at Nick's for a kitchen. because Nick's Kitchen is extremely small anyway. I don't know if you guys have been there or not, but it's
yeah.
The kitchen should serve probably with the front room seats, which is about 75, 80 people. But when we're full, we feed 500. So anyway, we need to expand that. And Susan used to be managed and work at Blooming Foods for years, and so her heart was already in that building. So we decided to go ahead and rent that space and develop a kitchen in there. So we put a ton of money in that, put a commercial kitchen there. We started cooking for Nick's in there, not on the line. We didn't do burgers and straws and pizzas there, but we did our soups and stews and sauces and whatnot. So we had an extra kitchen space where the Osteria is now. And then we decided the plan was, if this is successful, then we will go ahead and develop the restaurant. So that's how the Osteria started.
I love it, man.
Yeah, and then we expanded that kitchen and put in pizza ovens and whatnot. So it's all one big family thing. Nick's and Osteria Rago are just one and the same, more or less.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're great. I mean, they both have their own unique identities, their own reasons to go.
Yeah, and we're also planning, I don't know if it jinxed this or not, but we're working with Lawnwood Builders because we are going to, because as I don't know if you guys have been in the Osteria, you know, it's just downstairs.
Right.
Okay, and that's our original concept was to develop the upstairs after a while, but a couple things happened like COVID and some elections and things like that. So all that got put on the back burner, but now Ian and I are hopefully going ahead and we have to jump through some hoops, but to put a speakeasy on the second floor of the Osteria, keep the theme the same, the profile the same, but, you know, modernize it because we have to do a lot of HVAC and mechanics and things like that. But then hopefully, knock on wood, join the two buildings with the walkway. That's what we're working on now.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't sure if I could even bring it up because I knew we had talked in the past about plans for the upstairs. I had no idea where that was at. But that would be, I mean, what's going to beat a back alley speakeasy?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It is. We were going to put a speakeasy in before other people, which is cool. They really worked out really well.
Yeah.
I mean, the upstairs pub and the whole thing that Steve and those guys have done.
They crushed it.
Fantastic.
The library is awesome. Yeah.
It just brings people downtown and on Kirkwood. So we feel like we're partners with them. I mean, we're separate entities. We're really not rivals at all. I mean,
of course,
the more the merrier.
Yeah.
So anyway, the speakeasy. But the key to a speakeasy is you need a 3-way liquor license. So our plan was to join the two buildings with the walkway, which we're working on that now. To put through. So hopefully I'm not jinxing it. And Chantel, my wife Chantel, who's a chef at Farm.
Yes.
Farm is another great restaurant.
Been a guest on the podcast.
Yes. She said, well, don't talk about it because you might jinx it. I said, well.
We're 10 minutes in. It's too late.
I know. I don't want to say we're 90% there, but it's all technical stuff because we actually rent the two buildings. We don't really own either the Osteria or Nick's building. We have long-term leases with because traditional older families in Bloomington own them. The Hirsch-Smalls family owns Nick's building still. Dr. Frank Hirsch-Smalls is my doctor for years, and there's many Hirsch-Smallses everywhere. They're wonderful, wonderful people. And there's another landlord in the where the Osteria is. So we have to do is work out who's going to be live, anyway, it's all technical stuff. So hopefully we can join two buildings and then we use that 3-way liquor license for Nick's.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, it's
if not, we'll figure out something. But I mean, Ian and I have been dreaming about this for years.
Yeah, I know it's been talked about for a while.
Yeah, and we wouldn't serve Nick's food over there. We're trying to develop now. We're coming up with ideas of small plate. Italian stuff. Well, it wouldn't be tapas. That's more Spanish.
I know. Yeah.
But yeah, focaccias and maybe small plate pasta, things like that up in the Osteria.
That'd be incredible, man.
Yeah, and we worked on some design stuff with Lauren Wood's people, who are fantastic people to work with. Their craftsmanship is incredible, and their vision and what they see and how they work with you is just top notch. They worked on the downstairs in the Osteria, so that's what we're doing upstairs like that too. There's a couple big windows which face to the west, which have been covered up for years. So we're going to kind of open those up, get some evening light in. It'll be the place to hang out. Hopefully it all gets done.
Yeah.
We hopefully open on that, hopefully, would be the spring of 2027 because 2027, Nick's English Hut turns 100.
For those at home not good at math, 1927.
Yeah. So we were open before, Nick's was open before Prohibition ended. So actually, we were a cigarette, candy, soda shop because Nick Hirschmalis, who's a Greek immigrant, who's one of my heroes of all time, started Nick's.
Yeah.
And during Prohibition, and you couldn't have booze. And we actually were one of the first, we think we have the second longest running continuous liquor license in the state of Indiana. I think the only other one ahead of that would be Slippery Noodle.
Yeah.
So we got our liquor license in January of 33.
That's wild. Yeah. So you guys are one of the few, all of our chocolate mousse stuff says since 1933. Because the plot of land we've been on, it was Maze Cafe. Then the stand was built in 55. But so we'll eventually be celebrating 100 years.
Right. And you really should jump on that, man, because we've been planning this for a while.
I don't know. Can we talk about, you got some plans in place.
Well, yeah, because I was going to talk about it with you, maybe privately here, because Taste of Bloomington was such a fantastic event.
Awesome.
I've been in Bloomington a long time. I've done a lot of street festivals, a lot of things. That was one of the greatest things in Bloomington for the whole community I've ever seen. And it was so successful. The weather cooperated. 99.9999%. Oh, yeah, you should. Perfect day. It could have been pouring down rain. It could have been 95 degrees.
But we were ready to capitalize. We were ready to capitalize on the nice weather.
So anyway, what we want to do in the summer of 2027 is have a street festival.
Yeah.
But I have to get with the city on it because you have to get all kinds of permits, which is great. But then I'm going to coordinate with you with Taste of Bloomington to make sure that we don't step on each other's feet. So I want to have enough maybe downtime between the two. So, we don't wear people out going to back weekends, but I think it'd be great because that's one of the main reasons why City of Bloomington closed down Kirkwood Avenue.
Yeah.
Great venue.
Absolutely. So we could just talk. Let's have a little conversation about it.
Sure. I think
people would be a fly on the wall, and this is how stuff gets done.
I know. That's what we're talking about with Taste of Bloomington, too, because we want to keep that running and be successful. It was great. Food was great. Bands were great. And then, so we're trying to piggyback onto that, not just because, run on your fame and fortune, but also, I piggyback Nick's English Hut on with Taste of Bloomington.
Yeah. There's a million different ways we can collaborate, but I would love, if you want help organizing it. I'm happy. For sure. I'm happy to help. If I can be a part of Nick's 100-year celebration, that would be an honor.
Okay.
I'll just say that right now. You have it. It's videotaped. I can't back out.
All right. You heard it, everybody. Here you go.
Pro bono. But yeah, I think their Grand Falloon is moving to a different model because, historically, Taste was the Saturday before Father's Day. Yeah, you just we got the coasters.
Taste of Bloomington, see.
Shout out Bad Knees for the awesome merch.
Yeah.
But we decided to do, the last Saturday before MCCSC goes back. So we're going to stick with that. But if Grand Falloon, they're kind of vacating that first Saturday in June because they're moving to a multi-concert model down at Switchyard. That might be the move.
Yeah, I've got to get with the city. I'm going to get with Cassie and people down there. Oh, yeah.
Cassie's on the taste committee. She's great. I love Cassie. Yeah.
So, that's what the city is great. I know a lot of people don't like the city of Bloomington government or whatever, but I'll tell you what, they really help people out, all those business people and the whole community in downtown Bloomington.
Yeah, Cassie and Dee are incredible.
They bend over backwards to get everybody involved, and they want to make sure everybody has a good time, and they want you to promote your business in downtown Bloomington. All of Bloomington. This is an oasis.
Right.
Definitely in Indiana. So anyway, we've got a couple years to plan it. So that's what we're trying to, segue into 2027. Get the speakeasy going. We got to think of a name too.
Oh, can I?
You can help.
Yes. Okay. I'm so excited.
But hopefully, like I said, knock on wood, it all gets done.
Bring me to one meeting. It's going to be like, why the hell is this guy?
Yeah, and then segue into our that'll be for our that whole 2027 will be our whole anniversary.
That's going to be incredible.
Yeah, not a lot of places have been around that long.
Not at all.
That's one thing. When I've been there almost 50 years, the things that I've gone through or business people or people have been in Bloomington a long time, you see a lot of things happen, between the recession in 2008 and COVID, all those other things we all like to forget. sometimes we're on the ropes. I mean, being a restaurant, you know what it's like.
Yeah.
I mean, you're making money in nickels and dimes, and dollars. You're not making them in tens of thousands of dollars like if you're selling a car or real estate. So
right. Yeah. No, it's a grind to get a very thin margin on the gross revenue.
And we've had very loyal customers and very loyal friends of Nick's, and also great employees over the years that I don't consider employees. We're all kind of family.
Yeah.
I know some of you out there probably won't agree with that, but I'm like the tough dad guy sometimes. Tough life.
Well, we just hired on Richie Bowling.
Oh, Richie. I love Richie.
Yeah,
I was going to hire him back. But anyway,
you can't poach him. Otherwise, I'm not helping with anything else.
When he can help with Taste of Bloomington and with our 100th anniversary. No, Richie's a fantastic dude.
So we've been bringing back darn good soup at the Chocolate Moose. It's been kicking our ass. I don't have a culinary background other than working in restaurants for 20 years, but I'm not. You don't want me cooking your food. Yeah. And so we're like, we need another person in here that can help us, and reach out to Richie.
He's a pro, man. He's a chef.
Dude. Oh, yeah.
We worked together for years.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
So Chef Challenge, I think it was the first year of Chef Challenge. He was my sous chef.
Oh, was he really? Okay, nice. Well,
very talented. He's got great knife work, great detail. He understands tastes.
Yeah, well, he worked with Nels in your kitchen.
Yeah, and Nels was there too. Yeah, we had a lot of veterans over the years.
That's where Nels was developing the chicken tortilla recipe, was when he was at Nick's.
Yeah, and they opened up darn good soup again.
Yeah.
He sold it to somebody else.
He sold it to Pat East, who partnered with us at the Chocolate Moose to bring it back out Chocolate Moose, and that's why we hired Richie to help us run the soup.
He's with Patty's too?
Huh?
Did you say he's with Patty's?
Pat East.
Oh, Packy's. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So he's technically a Chocolate Moose employee running the darn good soup operations. But it's been 2 weeks, so he's been doing amazing. But there's still some.
He knows what he's doing.
Oh yeah, no, it's already within 2 days. We're like, God, why didn't we do this sooner?
Yeah, he's a machine too. I mean, he knows. He's an old school kitchen guy. He knows how to do production. You can mess around, have fun. When you have time. But man, he knows to put the nose to the grindstone. Can motivate people.
Yep, absolutely,
which is kind of the key in the restaurant business.
Little bit. Are you wanting to move better, feel better, and live better? Look no further than Move Bloomington, where their small group personal training programs are designed to improve strength, balance, and flexibility. With a welcoming environment, their expertly guided workouts can help you feel supported in the life and activities you love in and out of the gym. Whether you're new to exercise, a lifelong athlete, or anywhere in between, their dedication to personalized programming will deliver sessions that meet you where you are. Visit movebloomington.com to learn more and get started today. Ralphie's to the rescue this holiday season. Don't miss Constellation Stage and Screen's family holiday show, A Christmas Story the Musical, on stage December 11th through January 4th at the Waldron Auditorium. Based on the beloved 1983 film, A Christmas Story the Musical brings laughter, nostalgia, and holiday cheer to life, with unforgettable moments like the infamous leg lamp, outrageous pink bunny pajamas, a maniacal department store Santa, and a triple dog dare gone wrong. From the songwriting team behind Dear Evan Hansen, La La Land, and The Greatest Showman, this delightful holiday musical is a joyous celebration of Christmas, family, and childhood dreams. See it on stage this holiday season, December 11th through January 4th in downtown Bloomington. Find tickets at cconstellation.org. I've been using WaterTech pools for all of my pool and hot tub needs for 2 seasons now and cannot recommend them highly enough. Jason, Brian, and their entire team are incredibly knowledgeable and can help you with your next pool installation, closing or opening, or just helping you maintain your chemicals and cleanliness throughout the year. They even do custom stainless steel pools. Learn more at Jays, that's Jays, watertechpools.com. So how'd you get your start with Nick's?
Well, let's see. I came to school down here and to go to IU. I went to grade school and high school in Indianapolis, Indiana, went to Cathedral High School, and then came down to Bloomington to go to college.
Yeah.
And back then there was a lot of daytime TV. We only had like 4 or 5 channels back then, but I got addicted to like the Gong Show and things like that during the day, watching daytime TV. So I ended up like not really going to school that much. So I kind of needed to find a job. So I was wandering around Kirkwood. I didn't live too far from where Nick's was located. I had no idea what Nick's was. Never heard of it. But I was like 19, kind of wandering around downtown Bloomington. I was probably had smoked some marijuana or something, maybe a couple beers.
Yeah, maybe.
And then, I needed a job, and so I walked by Nick's. I had no idea what it was. I walked in, I was under 21, but it was the daytime, and I didn't get carded. But I did know the guy was the night manager. I didn't know he was a night manager. He went to the same high school I did. He was older than me, but his younger brother and my older brother were good friends. So I said, "Hey, Greg, I need a job. I mean, you guys hiring?" And they just fired somebody that day.
There you go. It's all about timing.
Boom. Right.
It's all about timing and who you know.
Yeah, and I was also really desperate, so I ended up working, 40 plus hours a week, whatever, right off the bat. I had no idea how to cook or anything, and then just started working there. And I was a kid. I was under 21, but nobody really knew I was under 21 at the time. So
what year is this?
I've been 78.
Okay.
And so I started working at Nick's in the kitchen. That's when 4 guys could work the kitchen, 3 guys. Our menu wasn't that extensive. We didn't have the hump room or the Hoosier room. So the seating was probably, I don't know, maybe 250, 275. So anyway, things were a little different then. The food was kind of different, but kind of the same. And then started doing that every day, and then became a night manager. Bartended, did all that, but my heart was always in the kitchen. And then I kind of took a hiatus from doing that for a little bit from the night managing and things like that. And then I just started working in the kitchen and ended up becoming the kitchen manager. And I liked cooking. I started messing around with recipes, and that's when Dick Barnes owned Nick's English Hut. He was the second owner. The Nick Hirschsmalls was the first. Dick Barnes bought it in 53 from the Hirschsmalls family. And Dick Barnes is really the main guy that really modernized Nick's and expanded it. It was just basically the front room back then. He expanded the back room in, I think, 66, and expanded upstairs in 67, and then we went into the Hoosier room in 1999. The hump room was built in 1979. So anyway, he was a visionary that kind of brought Nick's to where it is today, and he was good enough to me, and I had a great enough relationship with him. He kind of had let me do free reign with what I wanted to do in the kitchen, which is basically take Nick's food to another level. Because Dick always wanted to have a steak joint. He was a downtown Chicago kind of guy. He'd go up to Chicago and wine and dine with the big boys up there and go to Gibson's and places like that. And so we decided to just kind of up our food game, and he kind of let me roll with that. So that's when we developed, because back in the day, you couldn't get Nick's Burgers, but they were just called hamburgers. And so Dick wanted to call them Nick's Burgers. So we started calling them Nick's Burgers. And then we started buying from Fisher Farms and doing by temperature and whatnot. Before people wouldn't know, I'm like, guys in the kitchen, they didn't know what medium or medium rare was.
Yeah.
So we teach everybody that, and then, give everybody the choices that we have now, and just kind of maintain the mainstays like our pizza and strombolis, which were the original Cafe Pizzeria recipe, because Dick Barnes started Cafe Pizzeria. Dick Barnes is the guy that brought pizza to Bloomington. They didn't have it before then.
Wow.
It was like another planet. It's from another planet.
That's wild. Yeah.
Yeah, where pizzeria is now, or where it used to be, where the building is. Sorry, I'm kind of old guy, so it kind of everything kind of falls together.
You're still in denial that
it was originally a part cafeteria. There's a family, husband and wife team that did a breakfast and lunch place, and then there was a clothing spot next to it, I do believe. And Dick rented. He wanted to bring pizza to Bloomington, and because he had a girlfriend who was from the East Coast, and she kind of introduced him to the whole pizza thing. And so he did a whole tutorial on how to make pizza and went out to New York, learned how to make pizzas. So he decided he wanted to come to Bloomington and become the pizza baron, the pizza czar, because nobody knew what that was anyway. They just heard about it and read about it,
What's this exotic food?
Exactly, that Italian stuff.
Yeah.
So he rented that space, which was basically just a breakfast and lunch place, and started making pizzas in the back. But he would make pizzas. When he throw the pizzas, he did it like the old style, like throwing the pizzas. He would throw them in the window, so people would walk by in the street and say, "Hey, man, that's pretty cool." So it caught people's attention. He was a showman also.
Oh yeah.
And then the whole pizza thing took off. He eventually did the whole Cafe Pizzeria thing, took over the whole building remodel. It was a huge success story for years. And then they ended up, the Webb family took that over after a while. Dick Barnes sold it to them in the 70s. And we were getting, actually it was in the 80s he sold it to them. We were getting our pizzas at Nick's from Cafe Pizzeria until I believe like 75 or 76, 75. That's when we got the pizza ovens in at Nick's. So we had telephone back in the day. Remember telephones on the walls? Anyway,
that was a thing. We promised.
Yeah, they were on the wall. And they had cords, just on the movies.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we had a direct line to pizzeria, and if you wanted a Stromboli or pizza, we'd call down there. And that's back in the day when Norman Terry, he's still around town somewhere. He worked for Dick Barnes for years. He would run pizzas back and Stroms back and forth. And eventually, that's kind of what we do at Osteria and Nick's now, because I cook in the back kitchen or in the kitchen at Osteria and run my food down in Nick's. It's not Osteria food. That's where we make soups and stews and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Norman would run the pizzas and Stroms down, and it was a huge success story. So Dick decided, hey, man, let's put pizza ovens at Nick's. So that's when we started making pizzas at Nick's. So that's kind of how that all. Anyway, so when I first started Nick's, I'd work at pizzeria like a couple shifts every now and then, but then my heart was always in Nick's, ended up being a night manager and whatnot, and then kitchen manager. I kind of lost my train of thought here for a second.
Oh no, yeah, you brought it back. You brought it back.
And then we started expanding the menu at Nick's and kind of simplifying how we did things, made it a little more efficient, so we can kind of feed 500 people at a time we're full.
Mm-hmm.
Because a very small kitchen like that.
Oh, it's insane what you do.
Yeah. And so it gets to be a little bit of a chaotic circus sometimes. But then it ends up working out because we're still there. We're still very successful.
Yeah. So at what point did you become owner?
In 2004, Mr. Barnes, he really didn't have an exit plan, but then we kind of developed a camaraderie about it. So he let me buy shares to start out. And I had no idea that. Just a few shares, and then ended up being with help with my wife at the time, Susan Bright. She and I got together with banks and things like that, and got the loans to buy the rest of Nick's, and ended up paying off those loans. And so here I am today, the small town like kind of American success story. Started out working in the kitchen as a kid, and just working in my pocket, and ended up we're doing pretty well now.
That's
so
awesome.
that's kind of how that came about. So it wasn't really easy. And over the years, I mean, there was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. But then, you end up, I don't know. And then you end up owning it and you go, why did I do this?
Yeah. You're like, this seemed like such a good idea.
Yeah, at the time. Yeah, it was great, Because, I mean, when the celebrity chef stuff started, like in the late 90s.
Yeah.
The Food Network really came on.
And
Yeah, and so it was really cool for a while to be a chef. I mean, I didn't go to a cooking school or anything. I kind of learned from School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
Anyway, ended up getting off on that tangent, and then so it ended up being like being a celebrity chef's pretty cool. So then I started doing demonstrations at the farmers market and things like that. I'm going around town doing any type of fundraisers that people needed me to. So it kind of just morphed into being, hey man, it's really cool to own a restaurant. It is. I love being my own boss. But like we were talking earlier, we're making money in nickels and dimes, a few dollars here and there at a time. So you really got to watch what you're doing. And somehow I got lucky enough or fortunate enough to have the right people with me along the way to end up keeping Nick's going for another 100 years, we hope. I mean, that's kind of the plan.
Yeah. I mean,
and Osteria, and with Ian's help and Susan's help, has been very successful also. So, it's just one of those things that people have to eat. I mean, you can go online and be okay. Amazon's kind of taking over shopping, and Walmart's and all the big box stores. And this is a good time to have the commercial shop locally, everybody.
There it is. That's right. How you use that camera. Yes.
Yeah. So that's what we want to keep people coming downtown to the small restaurants, to the locally owned places, and spend your money downtown. It sometimes it's very difficult to do, but that's what we wanted to do, was kind of keep it a very local. Historic place that people could feel comfortable, like it's their living room or their kitchen. It's an extension of my home. That's why I always wanted to keep it. So, that's why I get a little dicey sometimes at work, because if my employees aren't treating Nick's the way I think it should be, then I kind of have to maybe hold back a little bit. But it is an extension of me.
Yeah,
it is my personality. It definitely is Nick Hirschmalis and Dick Barnes and all the people who worked there over the years. But it's up to me. I don't really see myself as an owner. I mean, I am, but I see myself more as a curator of almost like a museum or like an historian, or a caretaker for the Hirschmalis and the Barnes family, because they put their hearts and souls in it for a long time. That's the identity of Nick's. I'm the one carrying it on.
Yeah, and then you've been in it in the trenches for almost 50 years there.
Yeah, pretty close. And most people, if you wouldn't know me, don't know that, I'm the owner, which is fine with me.
Yeah, well, that's good.
You
Yeah,
guys will see, I got my
you're
my Nick sweatshirt.
You're a pretty bougie dresser.
Yeah, my car
Rags.
out.
Yeah.
I can be.
I know. I've seen you. You clean up nice.
I do Andrew Davis, shop Andrew Davis.
Yeah.
Great clothes downtown. But yeah, it's just the way it is. So yeah.
No, it's good, man. Well, it's from your roots. You're a kitchen guy. You're going to stay true to who you are.
Yeah.
You're not going to, just because you're an owner, next thing you know, you're not going to just be dressing fancy all the time because you're in there in the trenches still helping out.
People don't recognize me when I don't have my hat and my Knicks clothes on. Yeah. I'm in there usually, in a lot of the rushes. I go in early in the morning, get a lot of things done and keep things hopefully organized and try to keep people motivated. And then carried on, let my other people take over when I can. But I can still crush it in the kitchen.
Oh, I bet. Not surprised at all. You do a lot of work with the community kitchen for their chef challenge. You already mentioned it once,
right? But
every year you're doing something to help make that event happen and raise money for the community kitchen.
My wife Chantel, she is on the board there at Community Kitchen. She does a lot with them also, but I'm always happy to do it. Joe Throckmorton and I work together for years. Tim Clower.
Oh yeah,
keep it going.
Tim's been on the podcast to talk about the chef's challenge.
I know, and they keep on asking me back, so I guess I haven't done that bad a job. But
you're helping out in some way.
It's fun. It really does. The community really does come together and raise a lot of money for it.
Oh, it's a great event. I know Garrett and his wife Monica went a couple years ago. I got the opportunity to be a judge one year.
Yep.
It's just a super cool event. It's changed venues a couple times, and Woolery Mill, Ivy Tech, Buskirk Chumley, but at the end of the day, it's just a cool, fun event. So whenever you see that come back, we're not at the right time to promote it. It's not until like August or September of next year.
Usually August, yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, when you see that come around, Chef Challenge, check it out.
Oh, for sure. It's a great event. It kind of piggybacked on with the celebrity chef thing.
Right.
And so it's kind of taken off.
I think Tim said it was like Bloomington's Iron Chef, and he got a cease and desist or something.
Yeah, and then and the chefs here in town are great because they also want to contribute, and they put their time in because a lot of times. It's almost always on a busy weekend we have it, but it is what it is. And the guys end up prepping a bunch of stuff. It's just after Taste of Bloomington this year.
I know. So, I tried telling.
So the guys are busting their nuts getting ready for Taste of Bloomington, and then we do the Chef Challenge. But man, they all were great about it, man. They're just all about raising money.
Hell of a weekend. Yeah, that's a good 1-2 punch.
That's what us chefs or us kitchen guys. The restaurant guys, man, we're giving. Most of us are very giving people.
Right. Oh yeah.
And those guys, Adam Knopfsinger, people like that, they go out there and work all week and then come in and do Chef Challenge, like boom, and produce,
Yeah, that's the thing with restaurant people. We all are very giving people, but we all have a few screws loose,
Well, definitely.
It's just part of it.
Yeah, it's kind of like being in a baseball analogy. It's like being a bullpen pitcher. I don't know if you guys don't know about baseball, but to be in the bullpen, to be a relief pitcher, you got to have a couple of screws loose too.
Yeah,
kind of same thing. You got to be really serious, but then again, you have to be really have a big sense of humor, overly sarcastic sometimes.
Yes.
But yeah, it's one of those things. Not everybody understands it. People that do, it clicks.
100%. So I have to ask: is the steak sandwich gone, or is that?
Yes.
Okay. I thought. I wasn't sure. It'd been a little bit since I looked.
I think we'll probably end up bringing it back at some point. But yeah,
Rags. All I'm saying, you know me, I know you. I just want one favor.
Okay.
That's the best steak sandwich in town when it's on.
Yeah.
And
it's a Fisher Farm. It's a Fisher Farm cut too.
And we had Joe Fisher on here, and they attributed a lot of their success with restaurants to Nick's being the first one that really kind of got in and got them realizing that market was there.
Yeah, that's another little story too. Joe's great. I remember Joe as a kid.
Yeah.
Because his dad Dave, he was a great dude. This was, I think, 2006, because Nick's always got their meat from Ferris Market. Ferris Market was downtown, kind of next to the Bluebird. It was there for, I don't know, close to 100 years or something like that. They were one of those old school markets downtown, just in a little shoebox of a building. And they would do, they were butchers, and they also had, groceries, produce, stuff on a shelf, like back in the old days, like you see in the old movies. And Bud Ferris is a great guy. He's like a saint. I'm sure he's up there in heaven, if there is a heaven. But anyway,
how long is this podcast? Yeah, we got time to do.
But anyway, we'd buy our meat and everything from Ferris Market. They ground our burgers fresh every day. And they, Bud passed away, and the business held on Ferris Market for a couple of years, and they went out of business really kind of overnight almost. And so I had to find a place to find fresh burger. So just so happened, Dave Fisher was coming around about a month or two before that, and he understood. I said, Dave, it's a great product. I mean, they raise the cattle. It's on a family farm. And I said, I'd love to have your product, but, I've been buying meat from Bud Ferris for years. When Ferris Market went out of business, that's when I gave Dave a call, and Dave said, sure, I'd be happy to supply you. And then they worked with us to get the right die to get the right size of burger we wanted. And they weren't very big at that time. They didn't have any big accounts.
Oh yeah.
He was going door to door because he was a computer guy. He lived in Germany for a long time. I think it wasn't IBM, but he worked for one of those big companies. Mm-hmm. And he kind of retired from that, and decided he wanted to take over the family farm. And so he had to sell beef. So he was going actually door to door in the restaurants in Bloomington, and I was probably the first one to hit on it. And we, at that time, even we were selling a lot of burgers. So the Nick's Burgers took off with Fisher Farms. It was a fantastic product. I mean, you can really tell the difference in great burger. Mm-hmm. A lot of it has to do with fat content. So we have 80-20 burger, and it's like grain-fed. Just at the very last month, I believe, it's grass-fed. I mean, you can really tell the difference. So he ended up being our partner. We ended up getting different cuts of beef, which was a steak sandwich and things like that.
Yeah.
We used to have steaks and things in Nick's too. After post-COVID, we kind of got away from that stuff. Hopefully, we return with that on our menu sooner or later.
I understand not having full-blown steaks, and I, if anyone understands getting rid of a menu item if it's not a high seller,
right,
and just logistics and pain in the ass factor, I totally get it.
Right.
But I was like, the whole reason I asked you here was to put you on the spot.
Don't worry, I can take the heat.
I know you can.
But yeah, we've been thinking about bringing the steak sandwich back. But anyway, it will be a Fisher Farm cut, and I'm sure we'll bring it back hopefully this spring or later.
Will you text
winter.
me and let me know if you do?
I definitely will.
Yeah, be like, steak sandwich back. We gotta let you run. I'll bring over some ice cream.
Right.
We'll do
that'll be cool.
Do a little swap, because I always have to get the horseradish, the sour cream.
Yeah.
Mix it up, put it on the bun. I like raw red onion, but caramelized onion's cool.
Yeah.
And man, because you feel like a carnivore. That steak sandwich that you guys do, like, it's not sliced for you.
No, it's a great cut of meat.
Yeah.
And the thing is, that's what Dave Fisher and Fisher Farm just helped us develop that. When we had the steak sandwich, because we started with different types of steak sandwiches. I mean, we had flank. We tried hanger steak, I think, for a while, and sirloin. Sometimes sirloin's a little tough. Plus, some of those get really expensive. So we did. Mm-hmm. There's a part of the chuck, which is actually very tender. So we separated that muscle and then made that into a steak sandwich. Okay. So it's really flavorful.
Yes.
It's really robust. It has a real good beefy flavor, and it's very tender. So.
Good to know. See, I didn't know all the ins and outs.
Yeah,
I was like, why do I love this thing so much?
Well, we work with Sanders meat processors down there in Celestine, Indiana, which is down there by Jasper, which is real close to where Fisher Farms is. They process Fisher Farms meat, so they help us develop that cut. And now, anyway, to get back off the tangent, I was on Fisher Farm. They were really small when they started us. Now they're huge. They do all types of.
Oh yeah.
Well, not huge because they still do local all their beef is from their farm.
But versus where they used to be.
Yeah, and they supply, like, I think still DePaul University, a couple other places.
Yeah, well, they're on, like, Upland was pretty on early with them, and Heather Tallman's fantastic, and it's just a good product, and it's cool to see how successful they've become through hard work and a great product.
Any burger's great. Buy any local restaurants. Food and burgers, support them. But when you get something as high quality as Fisher Farm beef, you really taste the difference. I mean, I'll eat a cheeseburger anyway. We can go off and when I go out to eat, I almost always eat cheeseburger and fries.
Yeah.
The Office Lounge is great for a cheeseburger and fries.
Oh, great. We just had Steve Washell on here before.
Steve's a good buddy of mine.
Oh, Steve's great. I've known Wash forever, so I was like so excited to get him on here and talk Patty Joe's and what he's doing there. And we talked to Office Lounge, still managing over there a couple days a week. And we of course talked about the butt steak.
Yeah. And so anyway, with the Nick's burgers being Fisher Farm burgers, it kind of takes that burger up a little notch, actually a couple notches for quality and whatnot. Mm-hmm. I mean, like I say, you really taste the difference. And we put Nick's spice on it, so it's got a little bit of our own little secret stuff that we do. That is the Nick's spice is what we have on the seasoning for our biz fries.
That's what I was going to ask about. So when were the biz fries developed? When did those become a thing?
I can't remember exactly when I started those. I think it was probably in the
early
early 2000s.
You started them.
Yeah.
What about the Sink the Biz game?
Well, Sink the Biz game, that's a whole nother thing, because back in the day...
Please do tell.
Back in the day when I first started, I mean, Nick's... You could have a good time in Nick's, but some of the night managers were kind of old school. And this is back when I was tending bar and working in the kitchen. And so, I mean, you could have fun and drink, but, I mean, people really couldn't get that rowdy. And people raised their voices. Oh, this is in the 70s.
Okay.
So that's why I started with old school owners, old school managers, old school bartenders. So I know like the old way to do stuff. Or,
right.
you know, when you start out, there's certain things you're supposed to do and not do. But I learned back in, it was like boot camp back in the day. So back in the day, you really couldn't have a whole lot. I mean, you could have fun, but we discouraged drinking games. So after some of that management left, and we end up, because we always had the buckets. The buckets started in mid 70s. Mr. Barnes started that as a private beer drinking club. You could only have a bucket, only use a bucket if you owned the bucket that was in the space hanging above the front bar. They were numbered from 1 to 126. So bucket number 1, we'll say, was Joe Smith's bucket. Okay, and he got that bucket when we first offered buckets to be sold. And that's back when we probably bought them for $1 or something like that. Just the bucket itself. So you bought the bucket and the space where it was hanging. And the next bucket next to it was bucket number 2. The next bucket next to that was 3, all the way to 126. Mm-hmm. So people owned individual buckets. And the only people to drink out of those buckets were the people who owned them. So it's like a private beer drinking club.
Yeah.
So people used to try to scam all the time and start using their buddies' buckets. We wouldn't do that. I mean, it was like, walking to a bar, like you got pulled over for a speeding ticket. You had to show your ID to get your bucket.
Yeah.
Make sure it was you.
Uh-huh.
Because, it was a big deal this was pre the Sink the Biz game. And the thing about the buckets was it was a private beer drinking club, and it was really cheap. It was cheaper than a pitcher of beer. It was all Dick Barnes' marketing thing. It worked great because people love the buckets. Mm-hmm. And say Joe Smith graduated in 1978, and he wanted to will his bucket, like say like he passed away or whatever, he's leaving town. He had to will his bucket to someone. So say his fraternity brother or his little brother or his sister or his best buddy who's still going to be in town, he willed his bucket to that next person. So that bucket then became bucket 1A. So you had to know your bucket number and the letter behind it. So the first buckets didn't have a letter. It was just 1 through 126. Yeah. Then it being 1B, and then the next person after that got willed after the next guy was done, after he graduated or whatever, moved on, it became 1B and so on and so forth.
Have you gotten to any Z's?
Yeah, it got really bastardized after a while. I don't want to get into that. Like, some of my bartenders haven't figured out that there's actually is a number for everything. Plus, once we started to Sink the Biz game, so let me go back to probably the early 80s, mid 80s, when people would play. There was a game called Cardinal Puff.
Okay.
Where fraternity and sorority people play it. You have a pitcher of beer and you filled up your beer and had to do some weird things with your fingers and things like that, hit the table and then chug a beer, and ended up being morphed into using the bucket to play that game. And then we ended up being some of the IU cheerleaders would come in every now and then, and they became very good customers and good friends of mine, and they started playing a pre-Sink the Biz game before there were really any rules. And so what they did, they kind of adapted the rules to come to other beer drinking games. They had pitchers, and it ended up morphed into being Sink the Biz. And then it ended up being Sink the Biz became where you didn't have to own a bucket anymore. It ended up being, okay, we had the downstairs buckets. Let me go back up a little bit. And they were so successful in the mid 80s, we did a whole nother bucket brigade up in the attic, which is the second floor above the kitchen. So we had a bunch of buckets up there. That's mostly fraternity and sorority people. It was a huge success. So then we had like 200 something buckets, and everybody used them all the time. And it ended up being, like, why don't we just let everybody play Sink the Biz? And I was kind of, well, you know what? Then it takes away from being in a private beer drinking club, And so we hemmed and hawed about it, then ended up being, okay, let's let people play Sink the Biz. Everybody can have a bucket if they want. I mean, they wouldn't have a bucket hanging up, but you could get a bucket, was behind the bar, order from your server, and play Sink the Biz. So it ended up being one of the most popular beer drinking games ever, I guess. And So it kind of went through the generations of IU people, and they took it all across the country and around the world, wherever they went. We started selling buckets retail online. Well, they could come in and buy them. They ended up being, once the internet got really big, you remember pre-internet, so then we could start sending out all the way around the world and the country, along with Nick's T-shirts and keychains and things like that. And you could play Sync the Biz game at home or in your office, wherever you want. So it ended up being a super popular game, and it really ended up being where, especially on parents' weekends, little Susie would be playing Sync the Biz with sorority sisters, and mom would come down for mom's weekend thinking, this is a silly game. Next thing you know, mom's had a couple just, she sank the biz. So she had to do a couple shots of beer. Ends up being the greatest thing ever for mom. And dad started playing it. Then the generations of IU people, and next thing you know, people start playing Sync the Biz. And next thing you know, it becomes a legend. And especially with a tie with Indiana University, there's so many IU graduates out there and so many people from Bloomington that are all across the country. I think IU has like the most graduates.
Yeah, I think it's the largest alumni base in the country.
Right.
Yeah.
So we have Sync the Biz clubs in Chicago, San Francisco, LA, New York, whatever. And so it'd be a great time to play Sync the Biz for the Rose Bowl. Everybody might help the Hoosiers win, beat those at that Crimson Tide.
Yeah.
It'd be a great thing to do. Like go to order pizza or whatever, have wings for the Rose Bowl and have a Sync the Biz bucket there.
There you go.
Nick's at IU. So yeah,
that's a good way to do it up.
Yeah. So it's a fun game that kind of morphed into being kind of a worldwide kind of thing. So
that's wild though. Just to be there at the start of something like that and then to see it grow.
We had no idea. I had no idea. Like I said, we really discouraged it at first, and ended up being, well, okay, everybody get a bucket. We still have those private bucket spaces.
Yeah.
People doing on buckets still use those. But you can play Sync the Biz but you can't play Sync the Biz with that guy's bucket with, bucket 1 double Z, but you can get your own bucket from, server or the bartender and have at it with Sync the Biz. You can drink yellow beer if you want to. You play Sync the Biz again a stout. It gets a little expensive and a little heavy, but
Yeah. Hey, we're not going to tell you how to live your life.
No, one of those crazy Irishmen come in,
It's that time. Bloom Magazine's 3rd annual local restaurant survey is now live. New format, new questions, and now you can name more than one favorite in each category and add your own comments about specific dishes, exceptional staff, or why you love the food. Vote today for your favorite Bloomington restaurants at magbloom.com/food and look for your responses in the annual food issue. That's magbloom.com/food. Cast your votes today. Season 9 of the No Dishes podcast is presented by our friends at Game Day Men's Health. I've been seeing them for the past 5 months and have lost over 50 pounds using tirzepatide. But they do so much more than just weight loss. Whether you're suffering from fatigue, loss of motivation, poor sleep, or other wellness concerns, Game Day Men's Health can help. Check out GameDayMen'sHealth.com today to schedule your free testosterone test and consultation to get yourself back in the game. Better business, better community. For over a century, the Greater Bloomington Chamber of Commerce has been a cornerstone of business growth and community development. They are dedicated to helping local businesses thrive. Their business is all about your business. Join the Chamber today. Call 812-336-6381 or visit chamberbloomington.org to learn more. So what, of all the stuff on the menu, what do you find yourself making yourself to eat the most?
My favorite thing is the Italian beef, hands down. I love Nick's Burgers. I love our pizzas and things like that. It's a different kind of pizza. My favorite pizza in the world is Osteria pizza because it's a Neapolitan style from Naples. But the Italian beef, you can't go wrong. We use Fisher Farm top rounds. We slow cook them like our mom and grandma used to make. And take that au jus and take that and kind of spice up for Italian beef. It's like Chicago style. Mr. Barnes brought that recipe from when he traveled to Chicago. He brought that back years ago. I still eat them all the time. I test them, so they're great. They're rags tested.
There you go. Yeah. You need that
to get our bread from Chicago for it. Yeah, and we dip it and whatnot.
It's so good. That helped soften the blow of losing the steak sandwich. It was like, well, I still can.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring that steak sandwich back for you. I will let you.
You're
know.
a sweetheart.
Yeah, but the Italian beef. I mean, hands
it's
down.
great.
We roast it, we thin slice it, and then we make our au jus and heat up in the au jus, and we have Italian, Chicago Italian bun from Toronto's, which is one of the bakeries that supplies a lot of the bread up there. Mm-hmm. Some of the smaller bakeries in Chicago, I've tried to get the real thing delivered down here. but they really haven't expanded that much. So it's still a great Chicago bread. I mean, it has to hold up to the Italian beef. It's got to be sloppy, but you got to be able to bite into it. A baguette's too hard, So it's just that perfect combination.
Yeah, God, it's so good, man.
Yeah, the best meal is a Italian beef with a double header on there, which is grilled peppers, grilled onions, and provolone cheese, and they get a side of Sink the Biz fries.
Oh yeah, that's God, man.
Now you're gonna take a nap after that, but it's
of
worth
course.
it.
Oh yeah. It's not a casual business lunch. That's
on a date. If you got somebody you really love, split Italian beef. It'd do that like was that movie with
Lady and the Tramp?
Yeah, you do that instead of spaghetti.
Yeah.
Again,
have a moment, just lock eyes.
Yeah.
So what's
they both have that garlicky, oniony kind of Italian beef like breath, but it's good.
No one's gonna notice when you already have it yourself.
No, I mean 2 people with Italian beef breaths kissing, man, it's like the world.
Yeah. You can't beat it.
No.
What? Tell me about the Sink the Biz fry sauce.
Oh,
mayonnaise.
the garlic mayonnaise.
Yes. It's so good.
Well, actually, I started Sink the Biz fries. My Aunt Eileen, God rest her soul, she would make these great Italian fries when we were kids. Just back before they were, you get frozen French fries. She'd cut up sliced potatoes, make French fries with them in the oven, and then she would put Italian spice and Romano Parmesan cheese on them. So I kind of got the idea from that. So that's how, and then I started making spicier. But then we needed a sauce with it. Everybody needs a sauce. Didn't want to just do ketchup, and so I didn't want to just make a prefab garlic mayonnaise, so we started roasting our own mayonnaise that's got some cayenne and some other things in it. And so we make it from scratch, and we buy cases of mayonnaise, and we mix it with a big mixer, and then put it back in the gallons. Then you got to squeeze it into the container, so it's really quite a process. That's why they cost. That's why I think the Biz fries aren't really that cheap. I mean, people say, "Oh my God, these are expensive," but the Biz spice is extremely expensive. The garlic mayonnaise is really expensive, also for
and labor intensive.
Yeah. So I mean, we don't buy it pre-made. We don't just put garlic powder and some and some food coloring in there. I mean, it's got cayenne and roasted garlic. Yeah, it's excellent.
One more food question, and I don't know, this used to be the case, I don't know if it still is. Are there certain days where they're like hand-breaded tenderloins versus others?
We used to do that for years, and we kind of got away from that. Like I said,
but that was a thing. I'm not crazy.
It was a thing.
Okay,
Yeah, no,
yes,
and Dave, Tio Salsa, who's Dave Holt, who's my main kitchen manager, who's also my right-hand guy. He is a breaded tenderloin breader from hell and heaven. He just goes to town with it. He does those from time to time. I think it's another thing we're going to kind of expand and do that also because we have a great Fisher Farm pork cutlet that we can bread and put that down there. It is excellent. You can't beat them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So right now, eventually it'll be expanded to being hand-breaded ones all the time.
Not all the time. Maybe. I don't know if we really do that because it's Indiana.
Right.
It's breaded tenderloins. People that move away, you can't get breaded tenderloins in California or Wyoming or places like that. Very few places. So they come back here and they want a breaded tenderloin. So for us, we did hand bread them for a long time, and it got to be a little bit too much for us. But I'd like to go back to it sooner or later. But we'll see.
Yeah.
What we get now, it's a frozen product, but it's a great product. But we do hand bread them. We'll start doing that more often, I'm sure. But yeah, you can't beat that. For sure.
Yeah. Well, and again, I mean, you've talked about the small kitchen you have, the number of seats you're trying to serve out of that small kitchen.
Yeah.
You've got to make sacrifices some places.
Right. We have 2 14-inch fryers. Places that are our size have a whole kitchen full of fryers. Our kitchen should be one big whole fryer and a dish and a dish room, but we don't. We have a little small corner for dishes. We have 2 small fryers. So yeah, it really is. It's artwork. It's like poetry in motion. It's like ballet when all things are clicking and you're whipping food out and getting them out there. Yeah.
Oh, it's incredible.
Yeah.
What? So in your years at Nick's, being an alumni hotspot, an grad student hotspot, what are some of the changes that you've noticed? The trends, from customer spending habits to you name it. Because I'm sure you have such an interesting perspective over your time at Nick's.
Yeah, I think probably the thing that has the most impact, it impacts everybody in our industry, is availability of food that you can get now. Back in the day, there's only a couple food distributors. Almost everything was frozen. the selection you had was very limited. Now you get anything at any time from anybody. And so you have such a great array of lettuces, of cheeses, of meats, of any type of produce you want. And so that really expanded. There's only a couple of restaurants in Bloomington that you could really go for fine dining, or even a diverse type of dining. It's just over the years, I think that's what's really, because Bloomington is one of the great small town restaurant places in the United States.
Absolutely. Yep. That's why we exist, this podcast.
Right. So it really helped the local restaurants diversify their menus and keep the local customer base interested in what we have here in Bloomington. They didn't have to go to Columbus or Indianapolis or anywhere to eat. They could eat whatever they wanted here. So over the years, that's how we developed the menu at Nick's. Other things were more available. Instead of buying the frozen stuff all the time from Farm Boy, we can get all kinds of stuff from other people. Then local farmers would come by and sell you stuff. Then Dave Fish comes by and sells you stuff. So it kind of morphed into what we have now, where seriously you can get almost anything you want. So that's what really kind of also sparked my interest in the food industry and staying in the food industry, because you could become more creative and you could not just put out like institutional type food. You can really put out what was in your heart and soul, and educate your staff about food and how to cook. Start watching YouTube videos on how to do things. And a lot of my alums have gone out and worked in other restaurants to open up their own places. So it expanded our brain here, the restaurant people in Bloomington, to be able to have so much available. And then, I start learning more, and you motivate people more. And next thing you know, Bloomington's, one of the great restaurant places in Bloomington.
Oh, it's great.
Or in Indiana for sure.
Oh, 100%. I mean, we talked about it on here at length, where we just punched way above our weight. It was not too long ago, we were one of the top whatever foodie towns in the country, from Rand McNally or something like that. And, Elm got recognized with
Elm's fantastic too, those guys.
Incredible. Yeah. Chef Dan Thomas, Eric Lee, and the whole crew over there are so great at what they do.
Yep.
Want to touch on Osteria, or go ahead.
Well, I was going to go on because we were talking about things that have changed. And then, you get the internet, social media, as you know. I mean, that really has changed the restaurant business. Everybody's a food critic now.
Right.
I mean, there's podcasts. Obviously, here's a podcast.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're not a very
between
TikTok,
TikTok and everything, and all the venues across the board. I mean, it really changed the restaurant industry for the good. I don't want to say the bad, because we all need critics, and also it's great advertising too. Mm-hmm. I mean, it doesn't make or break you. The social media won't make or break you. But definitely have positive feedback on social media definitely helps you.
Of course.
It's totally changed the restaurant industry. I mean, look at reservations now. You don't have to wait in line anymore. I mean, you have a reservation, you get a little buzzer, and they'll click you.
Yeah, you don't even have to call to make a reservation.
Right.
Yeah.
In anywhere, in major metropolitan areas, some small towns, they use it in their restaurants also, where you actually have a wait. Or, just not just the social media, but also menus. They're online now. Delivery, Uber Eats, all that. I mean, it just really changed the restaurant business, especially out of necessity, because of post-COVID. I mean, look at how delivery. A lot of restaurants didn't make it. And the ones that really did delivered or had Uber deliver.
Yeah, or
like
just
the major
figured it
chains, they're already set up for that. The Olive Gardens and the other places. I mean, they had already huge segments of their operation already set up for carryout and Togo.
Yeah. When I worked at O'Charlie's, I moved from busboy host to curbside carryout.
Right.
Before I was a server or bartender.
Right.
That was a role I did for 6 months, where you just have your little cubby back in the corner, you run it out to cars, and they already had that shit down,
Right. And so the availability of product and the way that the food industry has expanded, and social media and the internet has really changed the restaurant business, has had a lot of influence on what I am today. So
yeah, well, it's just, again, you've been in it since the 70s at this one place, and it's just like such an interesting perspective to have.
When everything changes so fast now, back in the day, I mean, it might take 5 or 10 years for things to kind of come around.
Yeah.
Food trends didn't happen that often. People really weren't aware of food from around the world, around different parts of the United States.
Yeah, now it's like hot honey this, Dubai chocolate that, and they just pop up out of nowhere.
I think it's great. And then if it sells, then you put it on your menu, and then you really, you expand your brand, you expand the menu for your customers also.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hot honey seems like it's here to stay. I mean, I think it might even be on your pizza of the month right now.
Yeah. The Osteria. Yeah.
Yep. So you mentioned the pizza at Osteria and the Neapolitan style. When you talked about the fresh made pasta, I've always talked about how much I love the chicken marsala there.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing at Osteria?
I'm a bucatini guy.
Okay.
I'm a cacio e pepe kind of guy. I love the pizza. I love our sandwiches, but I'm a really simple cacio e pepe, which is basically Italian mac and cheese with pepper in it.
Yeah, I did the carbonara on Saturday.
Carbonara, I love that.
Yeah,
also, any pasta.
simple.
I mean, I grew up eating pasta when I was a kid. I mean, you had pasta all the time, and so that's that's one thing that you get a small order of pasta and you get another side with it and something else. That's what's so good about the Osteria. You get little small plates of everything and kind of share it.
Yeah, well, and just the visual appeal.
Our gnocchi is awesome. Jeremiah Pelfrey, he's my chef over there. The dude hand makes pasta.
Yeah, oh yeah.
We have machines to make pasta. But we were hand making gnocchi.
Yeah,
some of the best gnocchi I ever had in the world.
Okay, I'll have to go and try that. I haven't.
We made so much. It became so popular. We actually bought a gnocchi making machine from the company we bought our pasta making machines, and we're still dialing that in. But I mean, our gnocchi is fantastic. That's another great thing. I love our charcuterie plates.
Oh yeah,
I have one for Christmas.
I think you do the best charcuterie plate.
Yeah, but the gnocchi. I mean, a lot of you guys don't know. Gnocchi is like Italian. It's like a potato pasta.
Yeah.
You take we slow roast the potatoes, let them chill, kind of process them with and put some egg, a little bit of flour, some cheese, a little bit of spice, and makes just an excellent. It's like eating little pillows.
Oh yeah, I love a good gnocchi so much, and I don't think I've had it since Jeremiah. So I met Jeremiah for the first time the other day.
Yeah.
I didn't know Cody was gone because I knew Cody for a long time.
Yeah. Cody's great too.
Yeah, I knew Cody, and he was an integral part of it for a long time. Jeremiah was great. This reminded me, I owe you chicken base. You guys were kind enough to loan us some chicken base.
You can have whatever you want.
But I did bring over ice cream for the whole staff to say thank you.
Yeah.
So I think they were like, all right.
And we do make our own gelato too, but in very small batches. We need chocolate mousse though. The world needs chocolate mousse.
Yeah. I've never pushed you like getting chocolate mousse because I know you guys make your own gelato. But if you ever need ice cream, you know who to call.
Oh yeah, we know.
We got you. You talked about. Or go ahead, please.
No, with Jeremiah, he just does an excellent job. He's got a heart and soul, and he puts in so many hours. And it takes him hours to hand roll gnocchi, but he loves it. It's great. Like your Italian grandma. It's like he needs to be about 5'1" and have big old flabby arms.
We'll start calling him
Doris.
Doris.
And a rolling pin they like hit your fingers. Get out of my kitchen. Yeah. But no, he's an artist. I mean,
well, I know what I'm getting next time I'm in there. I'm trying the gnocchi. That'll be awesome.
Oh yeah,
I'm pumped. What I want to touch on. You talked about we always love talking. What's your favorite burger and all this? But you're a burger guy. You said every time you go out, you're getting cheeseburger and fries.
Yeah.
I want your input. Obviously, the Nick's burger is great.
Yeah.
Outside of the Nick's burger, what are some of your favorite burgers in town?
Actually, the best one I've had in town lately, besides the Nick's burger, would be Brew Burger.
Really interesting. Okay, now just standard or what kind or?
I can't remember what I had, but it was done perfectly.
Okay, yeah.
The service was good and the fries are great. I'm a burger fry guy. Now, of course, Henkel's. Can't go wrong with that.
Old tried and true.
I mean, that's kind of that's one of my go-tos too. I mean, but for a burger, and when I sit down, the best burger I've had besides Henkel's, that's a totally different animal.
Yeah. Well, you can't compare a Brew burger to a Henkel's burger. And we've talked about this on here. You got your smash burgers and you got your thick boys.
Right. And Richie and the guys down there at Henkel's just do it fantastic.
Oh, it's incredible. They've done a great job of upholding that tradition. Richie came on the podcast. It was one of the most fun times I've had. Every time you go in there.
He's a hoot. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And it's just, it's a blast from the past going in there.
And the flavor never changed.
Oh, it's that grill.
That's a key. That's a key. Right. That's a key in the restaurant business. Mm-hmm. I mean, people ask me the same thing. Nick, what do you do the grill? Well, nothing. We've got the same grates for years.
That's what makes it.
Yeah. And then every now and then we've had to change it, but basically, it's that, and also how you do it and your love and your passion. Mm-hmm. Richie's got a passion what he's doing too.
Of course.
Yeah. And probably one of my favorite meals, I think I've said this before, is at the Office Lounge. You get New York strip and fries and a salad, like it's all like $22 or some crazy stuff. Like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, we were talking about the butt steak because they do it on Wednesdays for $9.99.
Yeah, and the butt steak's great too. But
I don't know if I've done the strip at
I go for
Office
the strip.
Lounge. Okay.
I mean, I've had strips around town. It's like
$45, and you're like,
more than that, which is great. Okay, we got to charge it, man. I mean, time and time again. I mean, Mike and the guys in the kitchen over there just do a great job at the office lounge. You know, it's simple, and I don't get just because it's inexpensive, but I mean, I've never had a bad one.
Yeah, they just do it right.
Temperature's right on.
Yeah, that's all
fries
matters.
are right on. Hey, Mike, can you hold off on a toast? Give me a couple extra fries. That's all I get.
There you
I'm
go.
a fry guy. I'll eat bad fries.
I'm picking up on that.
Yeah,
What are some of your favorite fries in town? Just purely on the fries alone.
Oh, I like our fries. The Nick's
Yeah?
fries. Farm's fries are excellent.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's probably, besides next to my favorite ones, you get a big bowl of those fries in there.
Yeah. Do you like tap fries? Have you had them?
I've only had them a couple times. They're very good also.
Yeah, because I was going to say, when I think of like your seasoned fries in town, it's Nick's, it's Farm, it's Tap.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they,
Those are probably, those are pretty much, I mean, Farm's is really unique also.
No, yeah, theirs has a little, yeah, it's, I mean, because what it's
the
like
same cut that we use. Yeah, they use lemon
Yeah.
and some other things, but they've got that 5/16 skin on cut, as we say in the industry.
Yeah, a little low down for you.
Yeah, so you got to get those thin ones, you know.
What's a place, you've been in Bloomington for a long time, what's a place or two that isn't around anymore that you miss?
Sully's when I was downtown. You don't remember that?
No, I don't. Please tell me. I want to hear about Sully's.
Is that where it's? Well, then it was J. Arthur's, and now it's what's
Malibu.
Yeah, it was a steak place. It was like the fine dining place in Bloomington.
Okay,
it was downtown. Had a very small bar. Like it was probably as big as the Osteria. They always had a very knowledgeable staff. A couple of waiters had been there for years. And I mean, I was dirt poor back then. And so I'd go in like for special occasion, get a steak every now and then. They had a great Chateaubriand for two where they piped the potatoes around it and everything.
Oh, okay.
Had a classic bar. You get, you know, that's back in, you know, I can't remember when it started. It might have started in the 50s. But they ended up closing, I think, in the late 70s, early 80s. But that's one I really miss.
Yeah, that's a deep
And Grove's
cut.
Restaurant, which is up there, was at 11th and Walnut. Groves. Groves.
Okay.
There's a little shopping mall there on the 11th and Walnut. It was really great family style, very unpretentious, great fried chicken. That's why Bloomington does not have great fried chicken anywhere.
I know. We need to.
I mean, anybody out there, if you have fried chicken in your menu, yours is great.
I haven't tried it yet. Try Steve Washell's at Patty Joe's.
I need to try that out.
Because we were looking at it, talking about it right before we record this episode, and I was like, man, I haven't had their fried chicken, because that is a common theme I've heard from a lot of people.
Right.
That there's not great fried chicken in Bloomington.
Yeah, but that you can get all the time. I mean, you know,
right. Yes.
But Grove's had great fried chicken. They had the mashed potatoes and, you know, beans.
Comfort
but they also
food,
had great comfort food.
Dude, you need to go to. That's all Patty Joe's is doing.
Yeah,
he's doing beef and noodles, beef Manhattan. It's all comfort food. The No Dishes podcast is brought to you by VisitBloomington.com. VisitBloomington.com is the best resource for restaurant and culinary information, special events, fun activities, places to stay, and more in our area. We share a similar mission here on the No Dishes podcast of highlighting local businesses and the people who make our community unique. We can't thank them enough for hopping on board. Check them out at visitbloomington.com to easily plan your next meal, visit, or night out on the town. The Bloomington Town Planner is a community calendar owned and published by local residents John and Sharon Martin. Mailed out to Bloomington homes in December of each year, it features school schedules and community events. And don't forget the coupons at the bottom of the calendar. They'll save you money and help you decide on the next restaurant or retailer to check out here in the Bloomington area. Town Planner also has an online calendar which can be found at townplanner.com. Make sure to sign up for their weekly e-newsletter so you can stay on top of all the fun events going on around town.
Yeah, Steve's a great friend of mine.
Yeah,
I need to hit that up too. Those are two places I probably miss the most. But back in the day, didn't really have a whole lot of cash. And Pagliai's Pizza, remember that?
Okay, no,
that was down there where Sully's was too. If you look at Breaking Away, watch Breaking Away when they're showing down on the square. Pagliai's is on there. I believe Sully's is on there. But Pagliai's had like a thin crust, really good pizza. I would go down there and eat pizza. That's right. If I went out, I'd get pizza or go down there Pagliai's. And those are probably the three ones that I probably would frequent and I miss that I really recognize. But Sully's was great. I mean, it was white tablecloth dining in Bloomington.
I love it. What last one I got for you? Can't say Nick's, can't say Farm, because I know.
Yeah, I'm just not saying Farm because.
Well, I know. Yeah, you got the close ties, and
but the fries are really good.
No, they are.
Yeah.
What is your favorite special occasion restaurant right now?
It's probably still the Uptown.
Yeah.
Michael is such a good friend of mine and ours, and a friend of downtown Bloomington and all Bloomington in the restaurant business. I mean, he's the godfather of the restaurant business in Bloomington.
Yeah. Well, when I've said it before, where I'm like, we've talked about like a Bloomington restaurant business, Mount Rushmore. And I'm like, Jeff Meese, Michael Cassidy, you. And I'm like, who's that fourth? I know I'm missing some great people in there. But like was trying to nail down what that looks like. But I mean, you've been around for so long. Jeff's done so much. Michael Cassidy's done so much.
Yeah, Jeff makes me look like an ant compared to what he's done. Jeff's a great dude too. I mean, what he's done, that's another thing in Bloomington. That probably his influence, what Jeff Meese brought to Bloomington with his delivery system and the pizza he brought. He's not a greedy dude. You know, he wanted people to have pizza. Remember when he first came out with all the delivery trucks and the Tootsie Rolls? And
yeah. Well, he was just working for Domino's and then did it himself.
And then brought a Bloomington Brewing Company. I mean, he was bringing a small brewery, small batch brewery into Bloomington and having the balls to put your money out there and do that. That shit ain't cheap.
Nope.
Buying all that copper and all that space.
Wild.
Yeah, and a lot of us probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Jeff Meese.
Oh, he's done so much, and he's been on the podcast multiple times. He's I picked him and I talked about Taste of Bloomington 3 years ago. Like we were bouncing ideas off of each other. He's been such a great resource in so many different ways. We're cooking darn good soup out of the One World Kitchen Chair. They make like no money. The kitchen chair is like a break-even proposition. Yeah, it is a culinary incubator essentially, and it's a community service. What they do out of there.
If Jeff Meese ran the country, the world would be a much better place.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if he wants that weight on his shoulders.
Yeah, I don't think he does. But
anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry,
well,
Jeff.
At some point, Gary and I have talked about trying to set up doing a round table.
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be fun to get you and Michael and Jeff and a couple other all at the same time and just talk shop.
Yeah, us old crazy guys that have been around a long time. Anyway, go back to the Uptown. I love it just because the service is always great. They got a great bar. A knowledgeable staff. Their food is super consistent.
Incredibly consistent.
Adam's done a great job in the kitchen. I mean, he's a super talented guy.
Oh, he's insane. He was on the podcast with Vivi, and his resume is nuts.
Yeah.
Did you know he left or is leaving?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's a drag.
I know.
Well, hopefully Michael gets somebody to replace him up there.
I think he's already got someone that's pretty good, but obviously anytime you lose anyone anywhere of Adam's caliber, that's tough, But they'll be good. They've always had that thing dialed in. Pat.
Yeah, and I'm a gumbo guy when I go there.
Yeah,
a gumbo and a Caesar salad.
Well, you guys do a great. Do you still do?
Yeah, we do gumbo. Gumbo and jambalaya.
The gumbo, yeah, because those and we I think we might have talked about the first time you came on the podcast back in 2021.
Yeah,
that was I think always one of the best deals.
Yeah,
people didn't know about like how much shrimp and sausage and that you would get for $5.99 for a cup. Probably more now.
We throw it. Yeah, we throw it. We lay it on people. That's for sure.
Yeah. No, it's a great
and then Nick's gumbo and Uptown's gumbo are totally different. And they've got a different roux, whatnot. But I enjoy it. See, that's another thing. I mean, I really love gumbo and jambalaya, and I'd make it. And we just started running at Nick's. It kind of morphed into gumbo. There's a couple of stories there because we used to, back in the day, believe it or not, before I really started cooking all the time, we used to get bagged soups. We get those frozen bag soups.
Oh, yeah.
So I said, this is bullshit. So we started playing with recipes and started making a gumbo, and it took off.
Oh, it's so good.
And if you got gumbo, that's back in the day, we take the leftover gumbo, which wasn't that much, and I make jambalaya the next day. And then we have selling so much of it that it's just made two separate batches. And that really took off too. And so a lot of people didn't know what jambalaya was. They didn't know how to pronounce it. That's another thing. Like say the culinary horizons in Bloomington have really changed over years. With people understand what food is. They understand what Louisiana food now.
Yes. Oh yeah. People are a little more well-traveled, a little more informed.
Not that the people discovered jambalaya because of me, but then they go, man, you get jambalaya here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'm excited. As we're rotating through these 70 recipes we got for Darn Good Soup. As part of that, one of the ones we're going to bring on eventually are the gumbo and the jambalaya.
Yeah.
And I've never had them, so I'm very excited. But my gold standard is Uptown and you guys.
Yeah.
So what day of the weeks do you do your gumbo?
We do Tuesday is gumbo, Wednesday jambalaya, and every now and then I will run gumbo on a weekend too, depending.
Okay.
So sometimes on weekends, I say we have an IU ball game and we're on a limited menu. I run our chili, which is also excellent. That has Fisher Farm meat in it. But just logistics-wise, it's easier to kind of cut down what we have in a menu, so I won't have a soup when we have like our sports menus out. But usually I run it a couple times a week.
Last thing, Rose Bowl coming up. This episode will come out a day or two before the Rose Bowl.
Great.
What you got any thoughts? You guys throwing a party at Nick's? What's going on?
Well, we're going to be open. We're never really open January 1st, but we got to be open this January 1st for the Rose Bowl. That's what I was doing today and yesterday. Nick's is actually closed for several days over Christmas break because we are remodeling our walk-in. Some of the equipment in there is from the original in 1966. So instead of waiting for it to break, we thought it's time to shut it down. So we'll be open for the Rose Bowl. We didn't know that we were going to be in the Rose Bowl when we planned all this, but now, thank goodness that we planned it and everything's going to be done before then. The Rose Bowl is going to be insane. It's been a crazy football season.
Oh, it's wild. It's got to be good for...
Oh, yeah. I mean, to talk about the Rose Bowl, we got to segue into that by saying, you remember when you couldn't give away IU football tickets?
Oh, yeah.
I get handfuls of tickets from beers distributors or customers. Hey, man, I'm not going to go to the game. That's back when you get 25,000, 30,000 unless Ohio State or Purdue was here or Michigan was here.
Well, I remember that we'd only get aerial photos for the Ohio State game.
Exactly.
It looked like we sold out with IU fans.
Right. And so this was really weird. And so now, I mean, in my lifetime, I was hoping we get to the Rose Bowl. I didn't know it would be this fast.
Yeah.
Or fast. I've been in
Bloomington
almost 50 years.
Or college football playoff #1 seed playing. I think we're favored against Alabama.
Yeah, thank goodness for NIL. Yeah, we don't need to take over a sports program anymore.
And Signetti. Yeah.
Yeah, but it really is almost surreal that we're in the Rose Bowl. I mean, you got to admit, you've been around Bloomington forever. I mean, we're just people go to ball games to party and have a good time. I mean, I've always been a huge IU fan.
Yeah.
I was a walk-on IU football program back in '77.
Oh, wow, okay.
My picture's actually on the wall in the team photo in 1977. I still friends with some guys back then.
Cool.
From back then, yeah, still good buddies of mine. So this has kind of come to fruition because I've always been a huge IU football fan. Now I'm always working to the games. Very rarely get to go to a game. But my heart and soul is with IU and IU sports, besides Nick's and Osteria and my family. So we're going to be open and hitting on all cylinders. Games at kickoffs 4:07 or something like that. The funny thing is, talk about how times have changed. Back in the day, people would wait in line to get in Nick's for say a 6 o'clock game. They come in early and take up space and eat and drink all day. Now, probably because people have things to do on their phones and, with everything on TV or streaming and whatnot, people kind of show up just about an hour before the game. But this game is going to be a little bit different. So we're going to open, probably that'll be 11 o'clock and no reservations, please. And so we'll probably be full and be all crazy IU fans. It's great because a lot of the media from all around the country have come into our place because of the sensationalism and the surprise of IU football, because everybody's about IU football now.
Well, I didn't watch the segment, but I saw Mellencamp walking outside of Nick's with 60 Minutes and all that.
Yeah, John was in there. The producers for 60 Minutes approached me a month before the Wisconsin game, said, hey, we want to shoot some footage. I didn't know who they were. I mean, they didn't identify themselves as CBS 60 Minutes, but I got to talk to them. So, you come in and film whatever you want. Because, but media people, I just tell them, you got to just make sure that you get the okay of people before you film them, or before you, do you say film anymore?
Yeah, no, film's right. No, that sounded right to me. Maybe I'm old, I don't know.
So then I'm talking to them, yes, this is for 60 Minutes. I go, oh, okay, whatever. That's cool. And so they told me that they wanted, so they shot footage inside for the Wisconsin game. They came and checked the place, said, this place is cool. I go, well, yeah, Nick's evolved into what it is. We didn't come out as being a sports bar. Actually, we were called a sports bar before that term was coined years ago. And it's being morphed into being an IU place. And instead of building a quirky building like that, the rooms have been added on over the years. That's the way it is. And so it just all came organically. It really is an IU sports hangout. We just didn't say, hey, come watch IU games here. People just gravitated over the generations. Yeah. So they came in and checked it out, and they were there for the Wisconsin game. And the producer goes, hey, do you mind if we do an interview? And at first I thought it was with me. I said, no problem. And then it said, well, no, we're going to have a guest. I said, yeah, no problem. That's fine. You can do whatever you want. Gave him open reign. And she didn't tell me who the guest was. he said, well, we're trying to keep it a secret because we want to keep it low key. She had him tell me several days before that, and I didn't tell any of my people. I said, can you guys make sure you come in and open up the place for him, make sure it's nice and neat. And so they open up, and so I wasn't there today because my wife had surgery the day before, so I was at home, and the producers knew that. Not that they needed me, but they called me on site to make sure everything's cool. So I had my manager, Big Z, called me up the morning that the interview was gone. He goes, Rags, you sold us short. Do you know it was like they're interviewing right now? I said, yeah, John Mellencamp. Why the fuck didn't you tell us? I go, it would have been surprising. You think like a secret in the bar business would happen?
Right,
you know?
yeah.
But the funny thing is, apologies, John Mellencamp, but a lot of people in their 20s don't know who he is.
Right.
I mean, they don't listen to this great music or,
Yeah, or they might know the song if they heard it. Yeah.
Right. I mean, like, for instance, you go to some restaurants around town where he goes, the servers have no idea who he is unless somebody tells them.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I told the producer. I said, well, the funny thing is, I mean, we'll keep it low key, but most people probably don't know who he is except people my generation. So anyway, it ended up being a great interview. And yeah, he was a great dude. And it ended up being great. That's another great thing that, free publicity. Or nothing's free.
Yeah. But no, it's awesome that, they're like, hey, what's the quintessential IU spot we can do this? And they're like, it's Nick's.
And I think they shot some footage at the Upstairs Pub and places like that too. And, Steve and those guys are real supportive of us. But yeah, I'm very fortunate to be in this position. Like I said, I didn't make it that way. I just kind of took the ball and ran with it. They handed the ball off to me and I fucking took it.
But you haven't fumbled it.
Dick and Nick, people will kind of differ with that, but yeah. I mean, I've messed up quite a bit. But Dick and Nick, handed me the ball and I ran with it. So I'm handing the ball off to Ian sooner or later, and Ian's been a great partner with that. So he's starting to understand what Nick's is about. He's a great businessman, is very creative, and has been a restaurant guy all his life too. So
that's great. Well, we'll get Ian on here next year.
I think you should. I mean, he's got a lot of great thoughts.
I think we've only interacted very briefly. So I think it would be great. I would love just to get to know him. We had Ames and him on for Osteria earlier this year. We've had Big Z on. We've had you on twice. I think it's Ian's turn.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're a bunch of characters.
I know. Well, it's great. I can have Big Z on here every week.
Yeah. Oh man, the dude's always got something going. That's the great thing about Nick's. I mean, I didn't do it. Like I said, I'm just carrying on tradition. We attract people. We keep people. I mean, it's not for everybody to be in the restaurant bar business. Some people don't like working there. Some people do. The ones that do, they stay and they make really good livings. We've raised a lot of families there. People have over the years. A lot of people come back 3 or 4 generations at a time. It's just, that's the great thing to see. The last couple of days have been closed because of remodel. I'm working inside, cleaning and doing a lot of different stuff in the kitchen. I look out the front window and there's always people in their IU stuff want to look, and you see, somebody who went to school probably in the 60s or 70s come in. They want to come in. I was like, man, I'm really sorry.
Yeah, that's tough.
I mean, the love for Nixon cross generations, that's another key thing too. Keeping the next generation of IU fans and IU students and the kids coming in, the toddlers and the 5 or 6 years old. So when they get older, they'll come in. It's just not all about being a bar and selling shots and beers. You want to, mom and dad maybe have a beer, a glass of wine, have a Stromboli and a pizza with the kids and some biz fries. I mean, that generation after generation.
I see it at the Chocolate Moose, man. It's awesome. Just the I came here as a kid. Now I'm bringing my kids here, and it's what it's all about, man.
Oh, when I lived in the hood, just a few blocks away, I'd take the dogs down there on Friday nights or in the evening. Yeah, man, walk the dogs down there, get them a cone, get them a pup cup. Man, they love that stuff.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
Well, dude, it's Nick's is an institution. You're like I said, you're synonymous with the Bloomington restaurant industry. So I always enjoy just chatting with you, and appreciate you taking the time to chat with me.
Thank you very much. And we will talk about the Taste of Bloomington and our 100th anniversary. Nick's turns 100.
Let's
2027. Thanks, Jordan.
Thanks, Rags.
All right, buddy.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
You're still here. You made it, champ. I'm proud of you. Thanks to Game Day Men's Health, all of our other sponsors, and to G Baby Garrett with Green Hat Media. See you next time. This episode of the No Dishes podcast was recorded, edited, and produced by Garrett Portinga of Green Hat Media in beautiful downtown Bloomington, Indiana.
No Dishes Media.
No Dishes Media.